What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today I want to talk about the several factors that are all indicating that Lucid is near the bottom. So I do want to talk on that and why right now is an amazing time to buy in. But before I get into any of that, you guys know the deal. Smash your thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom screen. In addition to that, I do weekly live streams for members only, so even more of an incentive to sign up. With that, let's get right to it. So as you can see on the intraday chart from Friday, I'm going to be bringing this up as a point later on, but as you can see, it had a nice little bounce, started to retrace down a little bit, but again, we are sitting at a substantial discount. So a couple of different things. I'm just going to show you this chart. We have been hit quite hard, and we all know during this time frame there was the PIF lockup expiration, which based on what we can see from the volume, there's been no abnormal volume from those days, so good indication that they did not sell. So that's one thing that was behind this that occurred and caused us to go down. Secondly was this. So the Feds, January 26, 2022, we all know that they did not increase the rates, but they did allude to the next meeting that they are going to increase the rate. So March 16th, 2022 at 1 o'clock. So that's something for us to look forward to. But even if they do increase rates in the future, that does typically affect a lot of growth stocks, but only if they are heavily reliant on debt. And again, I always show you this. They currently have 4.8 billion based on last quarterly results, and adding another 2 billion on top of that for their recent debt offering. So again, getting close to around $7 billion, whereas they only have 216 million in debt. So yes, hypothetically, interest rates do affect growth stocks pretty severely. But again, when it comes down to it, Lucid has more than enough cash to fund all of their expansion for quite some time. So that's one thing that I do feel that Lucid has as an edge over other stocks. In addition to, we all know what recently came out. Tesla's earnings, for the most part, fairly good. They did give guidance as far as indicating supply chain issues for the remaining 2022. So that is causing a little bit more doubt on Lucid's ability to actually meet 20,000 deliveries, let alone their 2021 deliveries. So that's one thing that's been factored in. But regardless of all that, I do strongly feel that based on all of those factors, like I've already mentioned, our current share price is factoring in worst case scenario. So our price of $27.15 is currently factoring in rate increases, is already factoring in possibly misses on our upcoming deliveries. So it's already factoring in the worst case scenario of everything. So when they do actually have very positive catalysts coming up, such as their quarterly earnings, that is going to cause such a huge appreciation in their price, because like I said, based on the price, I do strongly feel a lot of negatives are factored into that. So once those negatives actually do come out not to be true, then we will bounce back pretty hard. So that's one factor that I do strongly feel that we are technically at the bottom. So especially coming from a risk versus reward standpoint, it is amazing. So like I said, that is one factor. In addition to, I see a huge appreciation in the price coming up over the next couple of weeks because of a huge amount of catalyst that is coming in February. So again, that will start to kick in fairly soon, causing a lot of buyers to get into Lucid, causing more FOMO, and one of which is technically, we all know, their upcoming earnings, so which is estimated to be on the 21st. I see some brokerages that say the 10th and the 14th and whatever it might be. Regardless, it is in the first 2 weeks, give or take, of February, so that's something to keep in mind. And like I said, even if they do miss on their 2021 deliveries, which I do not feel that they did, but even if they did, it's already factored into the price. Again, reducing the downside risk when it comes to Lucid. So even if that isn't a good enough catalyst for you, I do strongly feel that they are going to give a lot of good guidance during this quarterly results as well, such as their growth and a lot of other things. I have done a lot of videos on that, so make sure you guys do subscribe and take a look at those. I do talk about a lot of positive catalysts when it comes to Lucid in general, so make sure you guys subscribe. So with that though, there is a lot more catalysts in February. So as you can see, this is all the institutions and hedge funds submitting their 13F. One big one, so you can see Blackstone, 8.3 million shares. You can see that they have recently submitted it as of the 28th, and they did not change the shares. So that is one positive thing to take away from that. In addition to that, there is a lot of big names. So I'm just going to sort this. So you can see based on the share size, so you can see PIF, Vanguard, and Franklin. Then you can see Blackstone here, one of the top 10 as far as holders. But when it comes down to PIF, so 1 billion in change as far as overall shares, Vanguard 35 million, and Franklin 14 million. So especially based on Franklin's last 13F, which was on November the 12th, they increased 13,000%. So I'm not estimating that that may happen, but again, if we do show exactly what Blackstone did do, which most likely around February the 15th, we will have updated 13Fs by PIF, Vanguard, and Franklin, as you can see, all very close in time frame. So that is going to be a very strong catalyst, because there is a big consensus and fear that PIF has been selling under the table and things like that. So when it comes down to it, if they actually have increased per se, like I strongly feel they have been doing, and same goes for Vanguard or Franklin, imagine what that will do to the price. So there is a lot of optimism and a lot of strong catalysts coming up. Like I said, there's upcoming quarterly results as well. There is a lot of positive catalysts for a lot of people to want to get into Lucid, so causing a little bit more of appreciation on the price. So that is a second reason why I do strongly feel we are at the bottom. So with that, I'm just going to touch on this, and like I said, I'm going to be touching on the chart in a second, but first I just want to bring up short interest. I have been bringing up short interest for quite some time, and again, I don't necessarily bring this up because I think it's going to be a squeeze. I bring this up because these individuals are contrary to what we believe in, and they are typically a pretty good benchmark to see as far as whether the fear is increasing or whatever it might be. So you can see 1388 is a short interest, down roughly about 11% from 1 week prior. Utilization is 97.17. Day by day change is roughly down 10%, 9.5%, which works out to be 11.07 million shares being returned. So what does this all mean at the end of the day, and why am I bringing this up? So ultimately on Wednesday, they did reduce it around 12%, Thursday around 13%, and Friday roughly, give or take, about 10%. They have been closing their positions pretty significantly. And so again, like I said, I bring this up as a benchmark because they are only closing because they are seeing the risk in Lucid higher. And regardless of that, cost to borrow is actually reducing, and it was roughly about 70 something percent. So most of them are closing their position, insinuating that we are at the bottom and that technically it is too risky to short Lucid at these levels. And it does make sense. We have been getting hit significantly. And again, going back to the point, we are at a massive discount. So that is another reason why I do strongly feel that we are at the bottom. And finally, one thing I do want to bring up. So it's more so on the technicals. So looking on the actual chart, more specifically, like I said, on the intraday chart from Friday. So we did bounce off of a very pivotal point, 2550, and that in reality is a very strong resistance that we do have. And as you can see, around here is the 200-day moving average. So on Friday, you can definitely see a very good telltale sign that we are in this range. And as you can see as well, we are trending up a lot higher. So definitely, I do strongly feel if we can get over this 200-day moving average, like I said, there is more than enough catalysts and reasons for us to do so. And then once we do get over that 200-day moving average, which you can see is right here, then we will trend up significantly, especially, like I said, a lot of different indicators, and especially considering almost every indicator is showing Lucid as oversold. And as you can see, RSI is currently at 28. Anything below 30 is a very good buying opportunity. Same with stochastic is currently at 15. Anything below 20, it's a very good buying opportunity. And I have those two indicators on there because a lot of algorithms used by hedge funds use those two indicators as a good buying opportunities. So once those two, which they are technically very good buying opportunities, a lot more institutions will be getting in. So with that, you can see Lucid was down 5.4%. So you see all the stats right there, but I just want to draw your attention to the block volume column. At the end of day by Friday, there was 5.4 million shares purchased by institutions. So going back to the point, a lot of them find strong value at these levels and they will continue to buy the dip, as should you. Unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of fear, retail investors fall a little bit short and they get caught up with the whole emotions and everything like that. When you see institutions buying as much as they have been, that means and signals that you should be buying as well. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, do your own due diligence, but especially on the technicals as well, everything is indicating a very good buying opportunity, and especially if we can get over that 200-day moving average, which again, there is more than enough catalyst, like I already mentioned, just in this video alone to break us past this and a little bit higher. Especially leading up to mid-February, there is a lot of anticipation. I'm very excited about seeing all these new 13Fs, and especially with PIF actually hopefully increasing their position. That's again neither here nor there. Even if they maintained it, that is a good catalyst in among itself. With all that, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't already, smash your thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom screen. Greatly appreciate that. With that, let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.